my life I've barely spoken. Your words have been so broken. I've been under your hypnosis. Why did I sip that potion? I'm so done with Holy Ghost.
All right. Hi. It's been a while. It's been even longer since I've actually used my house as a backdrop. Welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you guys have been doing okay over the last couple of months. At least a month since my last video. Today we're going to be doing something pretty special because I've got the house to myself. I thought it's a great chance to do a bit of filming. So let's take it, and I'm actually going to go digging through some of my old stuff from Bible college. Tacitly, the theme today is going to be how Christian was I? Alright, so odds and ends garage. This is a box that my grandma brought around, or my mum brought around, that my grandma dropped off. And this has a bunch of stuff in it. So let's see. We've got some report cards and stuff. Alright, we have here a picture. Now this picture I'm not going to put on camera. I'll probably save that for a reveal at some time because it is actually a picture of me, how would you say, drunk in the spirit, being prayed for. But some close friends gave this to me for one of my birthdays. And it was very meaningful to me. I can't remember what birthday it would have been. It might have been about 19 or 20. But yeah. So we are in the right area at least. Oh, my tupper mat. This is the wrong box. All right. At least we found the photo. So let's go and see if we can find the actual stuff. Alright, we had to actually extract another box out from under all these boxes that I got all my lovely figures in. But we have a box. We'll edit out that glimpse of my sock with a hole in it. And this box not only has some old art, but here we have some pay dirt, some Bible college stuff, mixed in with some old school stuff. So let's see what we can find. This looks like a workbook. Sure does. Bible study methods. Fantastic. Harvest Bible College. Distance education program. A user's manual for a motherboard. I assume a very old motherboard. Another user's manual for a graphic Windows accelerator. I wonder if that's an old graphics card. Right, that might be interesting. I did mention on Twitter a while ago that I was curious to maybe one day make my old computer. Blank pieces of paper for some reason. This looks likely. Connecting children with Christ in his church. Wow. Upper primary. Oh, holy shit. This is from when I was an RE teacher. I did that for quite a while, actually. Not only did I used to be a Christian, I used to go to Shukukai Karate Do. It was a lot of fun. It's a shame I didn't stick with that. And a workbook. Holy shit. A workbook that I used to take to schools to do their half hour or hour or whatever it was of RE. Alright, kiddies, this is what's called an ADSL filter. You'd plug that into the phone line and plug that into your modem, and that's how you got internet. What is this? A totally legitimate copy of Icewind Dale, which I've never actually played. Terry Oldfield Illumination. Is that something Christian? I don't know. Blank pieces of paper for some reason. This, what is this? Hack Sign. Early anime stuff. Please Teacher. That was a great show. My art teacher wrote a letter of recommendation for me. Garden City. There's probably personal information there. Yes, there is. Advanced Diploma of Ministry. Amazing. I graduated from children's church. Ugh. If anyone claims I'm not a true Christian or never was a true Christian, I've got the documentation to prove it. The Pillars course, Leadership and Christian Development. Another certificate, more proof. I mean, ignore the fact that this is just normal paper stock you might find in an office. Not exactly high grade, high density paper. Youth allowance. Check it out. Active participation in the Harvey Bay City Christian Church drama team. More proof that I was a Christian. Oh my God, it's an essay. Am I going to be able to read this on the camera? Core values audit. Godly leadership, well-mobilized laity, Bible-centered exposition, creativity and innovation. That's ahead of its time, innovation. That's a hot word at the moment. Home missions, dependence on God. Wait, is this my... I'm assuming I wrote this because it's got that at the front. I remember those stamps when you hand it in. So this is actually really cool. This will be a statement of my belief as it existed in June 2002, 18 years ago. Wow. I think this is all my coursework. Yes, I think we've hit pay dirt. Oh, guys, seriously, like, totally, it is the map that came with Tribunal for Mournhold for Elder Scrolls Morrowind. Elder Scrolls, what is that, 3? And here's Vardenfell. Oh, even better. This is going up for sure. See, I knew there'd be valuable stuff in here, and look, it's from K-Zone, so that gives you an idea of how old I would have been when I got my hot little hands on that. And this looks like the Blood Moon expansion map. More Connect workbooks for RE teachers. I did do that for quite some time. We might be getting to the end of the treasure trove, unfortunately. More Connect. C1. I guess that goes after the B series. You know when you keep cords, in case you ever need the cord, and then when those cords are like 10 years old, they're probably useless? My cat might be interested in them. Look at that. I was a cool kid. As long as you... Oh! This must be the device driver for my very first CD drive. I've still got some more bits and pieces. This looks like another piece of assessment. Essay assessment. I'm quite pleased with all this stuff. Extra shoelaces. It's a recommendation letter. It's resumes. Look at this. Look at how much... Look at all this work that I did. Okay, that's probably not work. That's probably guidelines on how to write essays. But that's more. Is this some old hip-hop lyrics? It is. It's footstool rhyme stuff. Properly digested. Holy moly. These ones are pretty Christian, actually. The word, the message, properly digested, takes a man's life and confirms to the blessed. The word, the message, properly digested, takes a man's life and reforms. Holy shit. Holy shit. This is amazing. This, whatever this was, apparently I cared enough that I Confessing and confronting self-violence. Harvest. God, the bill for Bible college. How many pieces of assessment did those arseholes make me do? Oh, I remember this pencil case. More assessment. I really want to know what's on this tape. I need to find a tape player. Oh, check it out. Official sticker album. I didn't get them all. Like Mauser, only got half a Mauser. I had all the levels laid out as well. And I was like, holy shit, how do you do that? Look at this. Nice foil rare. Only comes in the mythic slot, that one. Super Mario Bros. 3. That game was astonishing. I really didn't get many of the stickers, did I? We won't comment on what this is used for. Look, I was such an artist. That was my interpretation of my OC when I was like, I don't know, 14. Not done with the assessments yet that I wasted my time on. Jesus' healing ministry. Topologies. Difficulty, people, Jesus healing, response, faith, fear. I don't understand what that is, but that is clearly Bible college. So that's where it's going. I think this is more lyrics being scribbled down. I think this was a better piece of art that I did. At least I was getting better. I might have been alright if I kept at it. That's kind of the story of my life. I don't really keep it anything. I was like hopeful for a second, but no, it's a completely legitimate copy of Marzil, the raw material. I don't remember if I put him in my Christian hip hop propaganda or proper banger video. Here we go, more Bible college stuff. The significance of the cross within Mark's story. So clearly was not paying for all the textbooks. Oh, check it out. So I actually did this on Photoshop. It was for a play. 48 seconds. It was like about some guy giving his life to God in 48 seconds. A CDR case with footstool rhyme on it. Oh man, where's the actual CDs? A referee report from Scripture Union. Chaplaincy service. So yeah, this is when I was applying to be a chaplain at my old high school. Did not get the position. Knowledge and expression of faith. Holy shit. Yeah, that is going to be useful. More Scripture Union stuff. More Scripture Union stuff. What is this? Salary scale. Wow. Notepad, that might have interesting stuff in it. Is this more footstool rhyme? It is. Wow. Check it out. A Chinese menu. I'm going to guess this is from the place near Garden City where I used to live. Was it Golden Palace? I mean, every second Chinese place is called Golden Palace. Oriental Palace. I was close. Come on, focus. Focus, yeah. I can't use my other finger to change the focus. Yeah, so that kind of represents all the people that whose friendships I lost after leaving the church. Let's try and get that to focus. Why won't it focus? You'll have to take my word for it. Well, that's kind of a downer. Another card. Turn. Paul Coleman Trio, wow. I remember liking them. Burn. Here's another CD that I remember liking. I can't remember anything that was on it, but it's basically Hillsong music. So I probably still don't like it. God, why do I have these covers to these and not the actual ones? Look, I've got a bloody 3.25 inch. Did I? I'm sure I threw that out. This is a small footstool arm. Yes, it is. Top Up Your Tank 2003. Oh, it's RE Teachers. I mean, I found a bunch of old rhymes written down. Yeah, see, this is another song. I don't remember this one. That's cool. Used to have pellets you put in there. Doesn't appear to be any in here. Alright, well, we're going to sort this mess out a little bit, get most of it back in, and we will see you back in front of the camera. Well, wasn't that a interesting excavation of history and the past? I found a lot more stuff than I thought I would going through that, and I kind of think that some of those things deserve their own video rather than rushing through it all now. So I'm probably going to just wrap things up and then start working on looking at some of those things in more detail. So like I said, the point of this video is mostly to give the receipts, so to speak, in terms of what my journey was like when I was a Christian. And so what we can see from the stuff that I've managed to dig up is that it was pretty intense, best part of a decade. So I actually found references in there about my testimony, referencing a camp I was on, which is when I actually became not just a Sunday Christian, but a dedicated, on fire for God Christian. There are references to the idea that I believed that God had put things in my life in a certain way in order to bring me to Him, to make sure that I was ready for the message when I did receive it, and that's why certain things in my life were not always the nicest things, and why I don't necessarily have the most traditional family structure. There was also all the religious instruction materials that are knocking about in there, including like the workbooks and stuff. So a pretty good idea of what sort of message I was teaching kids when I was going into high schools for the couple of years I was doing it. Of course, Footstool Rhyme, my favorite part of my Christian journey, old lyrics and stuff. So fingers crossed, hopefully I managed to get a hold of some of those songs, because I've reached out to see if there are copies in the people that used to do it with me, if they have any that they can share with me. But probably the biggest haul out of all that, I guess, is the Bible college stuff. I actually have like a few dozen of the assessment pieces that I handed in that cover things like what I thought was important in pastoral care, what weaknesses I thought the church had. Interestingly enough, I actually did a whole assignment where I talked about things like the anti-education slant that some churches have, the issues of authoritarian leaders that do things because God told me that, you know, this is the case and so you should do it, and how that can be subjected to abuse. Things like that, which in hindsight maybe they're indicators of the fact that I was on the way out then, because these are from 2002, which would have been within a year or so of me actually leaving the church completely, following that year of Bible college anyway. And actually, what's really interesting, and I'll dedicate a whole video to, is my application to be a high school chaplain at my old high school, which obviously I didn't get, but that includes a statement of the faith that I had in terms of different areas of life and areas of theology and stuff, including, you know, very clearly articulating that I really strongly believed that Christianity was something that wasn't. So basically it wasn't, if you're not Pentecostal, you're not Christian. It was more, if you're not Protestant, you're not Christian. So I don't think I had full respect for Catholics or Greek Orthodox in my, as far as I can tell from my writings anyway. So interesting. very interesting to go back and look at all that sort of stuff. So I'll probably unpack a few of those in future videos. There's an interesting, actually, it boggles my mind that this was a piece of assessment for an education degree. I think in my memory I've overestimated how academic this was, just because it was like a properly accredited course. But one of the assessment pieces was apparently on whether or not I had a, what do you call it? Basically a moment of divine intervention from God, in which I actually talk about, going and talking to one of my friends who was going in a rough time, and I sort of tried to claim that was a divine moment, where reality it was me knowing that person was going through a tough time, and being a friend and calling them and talking to them and visiting them and spending time with them and helping them through that, which was more of me and not as much of God. Which, funnily enough, that was the feedback I got, because I didn't get a very good mark on that. Their response was apparently, are you sure this is a divine intervention? A divine intervention is something we don't see coming, which, given my current status and looking back, me thinking that, that's because they don't exist, I don't mind the fact that got a solid P or pass in terms of the grade. So yeah, interesting stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed just me going through that stuff and recapping and sort of giving a bit more insight into what my participation in the church was like. And we'll get into more detail on some of that stuff in the future videos. So make sure you stick around, make sure you subscribe, and tell me what you thought down below. Maybe tell me some of your highlights when it comes to your old faith that you may have walked away from. Or if you are a Christian, maybe tell me what you love about it the most at the moment. Preferably not my relationship with God. Take that as a read, and maybe talk about some of the stuff that's unique to yours. So for example, mine would be the hip hop stuff. Love that. Miss that so much. But anyway, what can we do? Say la vie, right? Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.